things like that can just change games. You can have 22 guys out there chasing one ball for 90 minutes, and it can come down to something like that. Now, I think we're far from done.
Paredes nearly reaches Marvin Loria, but the stick of the shin guard, of all things, by Juan Pablo Vigon stops Marvin Loria from being through on net. 29th minute, Timbers lead 1-0 courtesy of Evander. It's the second game in a row I've said that. Kirioka has it to Quinones. Quinones works on Tyron Esprilla, sends in a juicy cross, back post. Nicolas Lopez the closest to it, and then Claudio Bravo shields him off from getting the ball.
You see, and there's a moment early in the season where I was critical of Claudio Bravo, not being switched on, not staying with that man at the back stick, making sure you do everything in your power to get between the closest opponent to you and the goal. And he stayed goal side. He put a leg up. He did just enough. And that is something that has really gotten better throughout the year. Claudio Bravo's back post defending.
First yellow card of the game handed to Kirioka. So we have Marvin Loria. Now Loria looked like it was Felipe Mora who was caught amongst the scrum. And now Kirioka goes in the books, the first yellow card of the match. I talked about these two teams meeting in July of 2008. The Timbers still in their USL days at the time. Goals from Justin Thompson and Byron Alvarez. Game had an attendance of just over 8,000. It's been 818 days since the last Liga MX meeting for the Timbers, and they're off to a hot start in this one. 30th minute, Diego Chara, as always, is able to get to it first, gives it over to Zach McGraw on the back line. Juan David Mascara takes a heavy touch, but no Tigre player near him. Tigre is able to give it back after a poor pass from Diego Chara. Juan David Mascara trying to fight it back for his team. The 20-year-old does really well. Last off of number 8, Fernando Gorrian.
Siboldi doesn't look too bothered at this point in the match. Casually standing there with both hands in his pockets. He's seen a lot.
Felipe Mora loses his footing. It's going to be a throw-in for Tigres just outside of their own defending third. It's a few steps up the line. Samir plays it back to Guzman. Guzman shoots long. Just short of the halfway line. Vigon, pressured by Marvin Loria, gives it back to Anguno.
It's a 2v1 sitting out here. While Mascara's going to have to deal with if Tigres can kind of move the ball a little bit quicker. Now they're looking for a 2v1 on the other side with the big ball off the boot of Samir.
Nicolas Lopez works on Diego Chara, still has it, gets through another, and then Zach McGraw plays Superman to get it out of the way. Would have been an excellent shot, let alone goal by Nicolas Lopez.
That's where I'm fine for Big Zach to just smack it. when a man like that is on a dribble like that, I don't take any chances.
Tigres paid a healthy chunk of change for Nicolas Lopez a few years ago, paid $10 million for him back in 2019 from Internacional. It's been worth it. Top scorer in the 2021 Apertura, a champion in 2023. Evander leading the break, gives it over to Tyron Esprilla. Thinks about a shot, slows things down, gives it to Christian Paredes, and hits off the back of a Tigres defender and out for another corner kick.
Well, we've seen that out of the Timbers, haven't we? A lightning counterattack and with quality. Now, there have been moments this year where that last pass or the decision-making hasn't been the best. But when the ball is on the boot of Evander, and even he has been guilty at times this year, maybe hanging on to it a little bit too long, but that was rolled in perfectly into the run of his teammate. And Paredes, who knows where that one was going before it was deflected. Hard to tell from where we are.
Timbers have been a lot more decisive on the breaks than they were a few months ago. Corner into the box. Felipe Mora gets to it, but not a ton of velocity behind the ball. And Guzman struggles with it at first, but goes right near him. Guzman trying to go all the way, goes from keeper to keeper. Nicolas Lopez was the runner for Tigres on the right side of the field. Alias rolls it out to Juan David Mascara. No press by Tigres. Maybe that's an option later on if they're still down 1-0. Remember, this is the first game for Tigres. If they lose, they can still qualify, but the Timbers would top the group with 2 wins, of course.
I'm not even, again, that's just pie in the sky stuff. If the Timbers can get
6 points out of these 2 matches.
Felipe Mora bumped from behind. He's been battered and bruised so far in this one.
That's what Giovanni Savarese is doing. He's holding up the number of fingers, and he's got 5 fouls on Mora. And that's the signal he's trying to get to the 4th official.
Felipe Mora played in Liga MX from 2017 to 2020 with Cruz Azul for 33 games, then Pumas for 51. 2 of the Grandes as well. He's under contract with the Timbers till 2026. Evander launches it inside towards the left of the box. Zach McGraw heads it back the other way. Now trying to aim for Nicolas Lopez, going quick the other way. Diego Chara's there to deal with the Uruguayan, and does he ever? Diego Chara, it's a roar of applause. It was a one-on-one there for a moment, Keith. If it got beat, could have been dangerous, but Lopez never really had it on the turf.
We used to say, there's a moment that's not going to show up in any statistical box.
I have said that this broadcast already.
Yeah, but you know what? They now keep track of that, right? So he'll get a dual 1. What he'll get is a dual 1, but that is just vintage Diego Chara there. He's been doing that since they didn't have that stat.
Carioca trots inside of the middle of midfield. Gorian back to Samir. Samir playing center back today, can play left back or defensive midfield, similar to his center back counterpart, Pizarro. Evander calmly collects in defense, but then the long pass by Claudio Bravo, one of the first he's put off today.
Siboldi now starting to show a little frustration in that technical area for Tigres. There have been some loose passes out of his side. They haven't played in 10, 11 days, and they are just getting their season started, so perhaps there's a little bit of rust. What I would say for Tigres is the ball has got to get moved wider, quicker, and then they're relying on just whipping the ball in. And I know you got APG in the box. I understand he's a massive target, but a little combination play in those areas, kind of that zone 13, zone 15, I think would get Tigres in deeper and get more numbers in the box.
Not to jinx anything, Gignac has been quiet for Tigres. Gorian plays into Quiñones. Vigon was the closest Tigres player to it. Juan David Mascara being closed down by Gorian. Number 29 for the Timbers has now 3 Tigres players on him. The press is rampant. Juan David Mascara does really well to let it run out of play, and it's going to be a Timbers throw-in. He's being bombarded left and right by Navy Kits. It earns a throw-in, but still within deep their own area. About 10 yards up for the near side corner flag as we're in the 36th minute. 1-0 Portland Timbers. Thanks for joining us here on 750 The Game. I'm Adam Sussman, joined by Keith Blyer for the final group stage game of Leagues Cup for the Portland Timbers. They beat San Jose 2-0. There's going to be another hard foul there. It was fed up the line immediately, and the number 3, Samir Santos, sends Dyron Esprilla to the ground. Giovanni Savarese perks up, as well as Timber players and Tigre players on the pitch. And there is going to be a yellow card shown to Samir Santos about 30 seconds after the action.
And Gio's hot. He thinks his team is being not bullied. I don't think the Timber side under Gio can ever call themselves bullied, but they're being knocked around and in a very cynical fashion. Tigres is frustrated, and that will only increase. Gio's always going to pull out a foul if he sees it, and it was right in front of him, so you know he was going to be upset about that one.
PTFC camps offer a wide variety of youth soccer camps this summer, designed for all ages and skill levels, even specialty camps. Visit ptfccamps.com to find a camp opportunity near you. Dyron Esprilla being treated by Stephanie Ludwig, the head trainer for the Portland Timbers. He looks to be back in better spirits as he's helped up by the trainer as well. Quiñones and Pierre-Andre Gignac near him. Maybe not, hollering words of support, but show that he's all right.
That's about as friendly as it's going to get. Standing by someone in a polite fashion.
Juan David Mascara, who's been a busy man along the defensive right channel. Zach McGraw gets some words of wisdom from Giovanni Savarese. That's where he's going to replay the game. Felipe Mora was sent up to him. Samir Santos looks like he got his ankle twisted in the process. And then Claudio Bravo took it away, stepping in from his fullback position, but there was a foul beforehand on Evander, who's perplexed why. Evander now up to 7 goals and 3 assists on the season.
Just put his hip in there. And he's going to go in the book. I don't believe. Well, I know Gio's not happy about that. He's got one finger in the air saying that's the first foul out of my man. Why does he get the yellow card? But sometimes you pay the price for what is a collective.
And I think the match is becoming a little bit too physical for the liking of these officials. And I actually think it's smart to lower the temperature a little bit. What do we have? 16, 17 fouls in the first half. We're not even done with it.
Just over 5 minutes to go in the half before stoppage time, of course. Timbers lead 1-0 via the Evander Wonder free kick. What a strike it was in the 24th minute. Second game in a row, he scored from outside the box. Tigres trying to show what their name lives up to. They've won the last 2 available trophies in Mexico. Can they do it in Leagues Cup as well? It's easy to argue that in the group stage, at least, with Pachuca getting the automatic qualifier through because of the most amount of points in last season's Clausura and the Apertura before that. They are the toughest team in the group stage. The Timbers are up on them 1-0 right now. Tigres, you mentioned earlier, Keith, they're overloading the ball. When it was on the far side, 6-7 players near it. Now they shifted to the near side with Quiñones, who's working on Juan Diven Mosquera. Over to Carioca. Carioca to Samir to Pizarro. Pizarro, calmly to Quino. Nicolas Lopez has a bad pass, and now Evander can start to break if he has some pace on his legs. It's going to go all the way across to Dairon Esprilla. He has to flick it up once in the air just to keep possession. Bounces off the turf a few minutes too many times. Zach McGraw has it, collects all the way to Aliyaz Ivicic. Moment of shakiness from the Portland Timbers back line. Now Tigres can fire back the other way. Nicolas Lopez winds up on his left foot, fakes me out, fakes the crowd out. Inside to Gignac. Gignac tries the back heel pass. He's going to be offsides.
Yeah, you see the technical quality on display there out of Tigres. Not just the cheeky back heel by APG, but just how clean they are on the ball. And they are switching it quicker now. The ball is moving side to side much faster. Harder for the Timbers to deal with.
Tigres have signed several big-name players this decade. Many of them on the pitch right now. Of course, Gignac, probably the most prolific professional signing in North America since joining in 2015-16. 164 goals in all competitions in less than 300 games, meaning if he starts a game, there's an over 50% chance he scores. The Timbers are hoping for the glass half empty of that stat, and they've done well so far. Mosquera plays it back to Zach McGraw, who shifted all the way out right to play an auxiliary fullback. All the way back to Aliyaz Ivicic, the Slovenian keeper, pressured by Pierre-Andre Gignac.
Most people think this is the last year for APG in Monterrey.
37 years old.
He has made noises that he would like to move on.
Nicolas Lopez gives it over to Gignac. Gignac on the right foot. Goal! Rejects them one too many times, Keith. He only needs one chance like that. Pierre-Andre Gignac. His 165th goal for Tigres and his first in Leagues Cup in his first game.
I wouldn't say one look, one goal. He's had a couple half chances. If you add those up, maybe he's had a few already, but he gets a huge goal for his side late in the half. And they really are celebrating this. It means a lot to Tigres. The Timbers were caught in transition, Adam, and your center backs were split. Zach McGraw could not recover in time. Gignac ran right through that center channel and finishes with that lethal right foot, and we are all square.
Pierre-Andre Gignac has scored many goals. Marseille, Toulouse, and now with Tigres. His worst ever scoring season was 13 goals. He averages just under 30 games a season for 8 straight years now in Liga MX. Even scored 10 days ago in their last Apertura match with reigning CONCACAF Champions League winners Lyon. 277 goals in his career, make it 278. Could be a card coming out as Tigres fans and players crowd Is that on Evander? If it is, there could be a problem.
He is. He's gone. Second yellow. He's off.
Evander is off the field. Evander is off the field. It was a second yellow in a play that didn't need to be a second yellow.
And I honestly did not see exactly what happened. It was something cynical. And as we search for the replays,
we will find out exactly what happened. I will only say that if there's one significant criticism of Evander in his early time with the Timbers,
it's these daft moments where he doesn't have to
make a challenge and does, just out of frustration or that competitive mindset,
but you have to keep your emotional control, especially if you are the most important player on the field for your team.
And again, I'm still not sure what happened, but I will tell you that 3 or 4 Tigres players went sprinting in the direction of the referee to point it out. Evander is still making his case. They might be looking at this on video. APG now talking to Evander. And good old Guzman, you know, he's up for some gamesmanship. He's like, you got to go. You got to get off.
It'll be Evander's first red card of the Portland Timbers career. He is now possibly starting his trot. No word yet on anything official.
Well, and remember, there was that suspension after the fact. You know, that one.
Yeah, he did have the slap.
The slap, and he should have been sent off for that one. So in many ways, this is sort of his second sending off, although that was handled in post, shall we say.
Keith, the 2 most recent games the Timbers didn't have Evander were 2 very daft performances. Against Colorado, 0-0 throughout the 90. Very little creativity with Evander, without Evander in the middle of the park. The game before that, they didn't have Evander through the suspension because of the slap of Matias Pellegrini of NYCFC. And they lost 4-1 without him in the middle. Giovanni Severese went to a 4-4-2 with Diego Chara and Noel Caliscan in the middle, and it just did not work. Without Evander on the pitch, the Portland Timbers have significant issues, and now the Brazilian playmaker Maestro is finally walking off. There's going to be boos for him officially being sent off, and now the Timbers are down to 10 men, 1-1 with Tigres.
Still in search of the actual moment. And Evander kind of had a bemused look on his face. A couple Tigres players kind of tapped him on the cheek in a friendly fashion and said, hey, you can't do that. You got to go. But I think they have a little bit. Okay, they don't have any empathy for him. That's the wrong thing to say. But they're like, hey, can't happen in a match with these kind of consequences, because now you're 1-1 and you're down a man. This changes things entirely. Now maybe you do play for the draw, Adam, honestly.
Immediate returns defensively. The Timbers are lining up in a 4-4-1.
Soft. I just saw what happened. Very, very soft. I don't know if Evander kept his hand in there on purpose, but as he jumped up for an aerial challenge, he slapped the top of a Tigres player's head.
Tigres set it across. Andre Pierre Gignac nearly to it. Felipe Mora and company are going to be a lot more direct in attack as Mora gets tripped up. And there is going to be the foul called. And there is 2 yellow cards currently on Tigres players as well. Samir Santos has one. Rafael Carioca has one. The only people who have seen any cautions are Brazilians in the game.
It was Nicolas Lopez. He went up for a challenge with Evander. If the replay that I'm getting is what resulted in Evander's second yellow card, they both jumped. I think Lopez got the ball, but as Evander came down, he just kind of slapped Lopez on the head. If it's intentional in any way, he deserves to be sent off. It's a ridiculous thing to do if you're carrying a yellow card. But was it truly intentional? Only Evander knows.
Changed the dynamic of the game for sure. Amongst the conversations with Evander, it was included that there was 4 minutes of stoppage time.
I still will say soft, but perhaps warranted. And soft. It's a tough one.
Tigres were already overloading ball side. They can do so even more. They just naturally have, of course, the numbers advantage, 11-10. Samir gives over to Pizarro, far out right. How does this change Tigres' attack plan?
Well, first, the Timbers will finish out the half in a 4-4-1.
McGraw put it on the plate inside for a second, but no Tigres player there to finish the dinner. Paredes squares it to Claudio Bravo, who has a progressive touch and an even better pass up the line. Does Marvin Loria have the pace? He does. Goes past Pizarro momentarily, but Samir does a vertical run to help out his fellow center back. Pizarro, a man of many things. Pace, probably not one of them for the 33-year-old Argentine. Aquino gives up to Nicolas Lopez. Lopez loses it.
Got to switch it. Gignac is really upset.
Quinones pulls down Juan de la Mascara in the middle, and it's a yellow card party. He grabs one just before the halftime break.
Well, you could say this. The cautions that have been handed out have been consistent. From the first one he
administered. Be lucky to have 21 players on the field by the time this is over, Adam.
Portland Timber fans probably hoping it's 10-on-10 by the end. Darren Espria goes over the back of Jesus Angulo. It's going to be instead a free kick.
I mean, again, you don't want to have 10 players, but the personnel, obviously, you lose your most important player. Let's be honest.
But I think you can have some balance with the setup. You're going to keep four at home. You're going to have Evander and Diego Chara marshaling the midfield. Loria and Espria will get back every time, but they have the ability to be launched on a counterattack with Felipe Mora up top as three Timbers players crowd the referee.
1-1 at the break, but it feels like Tigres, the reigning Liga MX champions, have the advantage as they're up 11 players to 10. Stay tuned. Chudanubi will get you all the information of that first 45 and bring you scores from around Leagues Cup in match day 5 of the tournament. Cheers and boos come across the stadium as Evander, of course, controversially sent off. We'll talk about that and more coming up next with Chudanubi on 750 The Game.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for twisty trails or dress up for a night out on the town. Up your family adventure game with the Highlander. Make a splash with the rugged RAV4 or haul a weekend's worth of fun with the spacious new Sequoia. They all come with standard features and some sweet, sweet tech. Check out this versatile lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Calling all Portland soccer fans. TikTok is bringing you closer to the game than ever before with unmatched access to the Timbers and Thorns. Join Portland's premier soccer clubs as they share content exclusive to TikTok from the sidelines, in the locker room, and at home. There's no better place for PTFC fans to connect with their favorite clubs and players.
Spectacular goal! They're up 2-1!
Because after the game ends, the real fun starts on TikTok, the official sponsor of the Portland Timbers and Portland Thorns.
It's game day at Providence Park. Fuel up with a gourmet sausage or classic frank from Zenner's Sausage Company. Found at concession stands throughout Providence Park. Zenner's has been producing gourmet sausages in Portland since 1927, and they've always been naturally smoked, small batch, and handcrafted with quality ingredients. You can find Zenner's craft sausages at local retailers such as Market of Choice, Safeway Albertsons, Stadium Fred Meyers, QFC, and many restaurants around town. Find out more at Zenners.com.
Looking for a positive and collaborative job atmosphere? We'd like to invite you to explore opportunities with Old Trapper. For over 50 years, Old Trapper has made the world's best beef jerky in Forest Grove, Oregon. Our carne seca is tender, lean, and deliciously seasoned, making it the perfect snack. We are a growing family business and a market leader offering great work and career growth opportunities. Apply at oldtrapper.com/careers. That's oldtrapper.com/careers.
Now it's time for the Portland Timbers Halftime Show, presented by Providence Sports Medicine. We make you better by any measure. Once again, here's Judah Newby.
Time from Providence Park of the second match of group play for the Portland Timbers. It is 1-1. Portland Timbers and Tigres from Liga MX here on 750 the game. Evander sent off with a soft red, picking up his second caution in about a 10-minute span, and doing so when he came together with Nicolas Lopez of Tigres, and Evander given a second yellow, sent off, so the Timbers will have to play the second half down a man to the mighty Tigres from Liga MX. Again, if the Timbers still come out of here with a draw, if this one finds a way to get to PKs and Portland picks up a point as a result, it will give them the 4 points that they need to at least advance out of group play and into the knockout round of 32. It looks like, for all the world, that would be, at minimum, what Portland would do. That they potentially could get a full 6 points out of the two matches of Leagues Cup play, and frankly, they still can. It's just that they have their work cut out for them. The reason for the optimism entering this one, Timbers and Tigres were playing a fairly balanced opening first half. Tigres with the majority of the advantages in their attacking half. The Timbers with some promising counter pieces and some promising set pieces as well. And it was a set piece in the 24th minute that put Portland through into the lead, 1-0. Evander connecting on a free kick from about 25 yards out, beating the keeper, had no chance, painting the upper 90, whipping it from above the crossbar, tucking it just below into the upper 90. Absolutely zero chance. A world-class goal from Evander, scoring his second goal in as many games after finding the back of the net as well with the Golazo on the same end of the field against San Jose Earthquakes on Saturday. That put the Timbers up 1-0 in the 24th minute. Tigres didn't have a bunch of great looks at the net throughout the opening 45. Things got a little chippy between both sides. A caution awarded to Rafael Carriosa in the 30th minute. Samir picks up a yellow as well, the second of the night for the Liga MX side, Tigres. Evander gets a caution in the 39th minute of play. Trying to calm things down was the head referee. The equalizer found 3 minutes later by Andre Gignac in the 42nd minute, assisted by Nicolas Lopez. Timber center backs were caught split. Gignac went right down the middle, and a one-touch on a great pass from Lopez to spring him through. Worked it past Ivacic with his right boot. Equalized the prolific goal scorer from Tigres. Scores one in the 42nd minute to bring us to level ground 1-1. And in the immediate aftermath of that, Evander, trying to play a ball in the Timbers attacking half, was taken off the ball, then retreating back to it, came together with Lopez. And replays, it took a while for us to see the replay, but the replay shows Evander coming together and hitting the head of Nicolas Lopez. And in the mind of the lead referee, that was intentional enough to warrant a second caution, and it sends off Evander, who was the man of the match Saturday, was in line to be the same with his goal today. Timbers playing down a man the rest of the first half. It finishes 1-1 after the opening 45, but Portland will be down a man going forward in the second 45 as well. We'll take a look at some other scores around the tournament and get Keith Blard's thoughts on the first half as we look ahead to the half number 2. Timbers 1, Tigres 1, Leagues Cup on 750 the game.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100.
Continental. Available at Discount Tire.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a gas station. You can't bring a chainsaw in here.
I thought 76 was sponsoring the Portland Timbers.
We are.
But I'm the chainsaw guy.
Sir, again, I'm sorry, but...
I cut a log every time we score a goal. You know, Timber Joey?
Sir, please.
But my chainsaw is running out of gas.
Sir.
Can I at least have a soda?
Sir.
76 has been a proud sponsor of the Portland Timbers since 2013, but please, no chainsaws in our convenience stores. 76, we're on the driver's side.
Blue Star Charters and Tours have been locally owned and operated in Portland, Oregon for over 40 years. Our modern fleet of motor coaches, shuttle buses, and shuttle vans are ready to serve Portland area business travelers, families, groups, tours, corporations, schools, and more. If you need reliable, dependable, and safe charter bus transportation anywhere around the Portland area, count on Blue Star. Visit us at www.bluestarbus.com. Blue Star, proud partner of the Portland Timbers.
What's up, soccer fans? Body Armor is proud to be the official sports drink of your Portland Timbers. Whether you're active on the field or cheering on your club, Body Armor Sports Drink is your go-to hydration partner all season long. Body Armor is more than just a sports drink, hydrating you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. From kickoff to the final whistle, Body Armor has the hydration you need. Because it's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Sports Drink, available at your local Safeway.
This copyrighted audiocast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.
Okay. Some other quick scores around League's Cup. We have New England 5-1 winners over San Luis at Gillette Stadium. Monterey 3-0 winners over Real Salt Lake to make their claim in that West Region group. LA Galaxy down 1-0 to Club Leon. That one is in the 67th minute at Dignity Health Sports Park. And, of course, here at Providence Park, it's Tigres 1, Portland Timbers 1, with the top two sides out of West Region Group 1 moving through into the round of 32. This is the second group stage match for Portland Timbers. Full 3 points in hand after defeating San Jose over the weekend, needing a result to really secure their spot and go through. Of course, depending on tonight's result, well, we'll have to watch what happens Sunday night at San Jose with Tigres and MLS Earthquakes. Judah Newby here at the halftime show. Keith Blyer rejoins me. It's 1-1. How about that first half for Evander? Golasso, yes, again. Second game in a row. He has been impressive in this one, arguably even more so than the first, although both were incredibly impressive. Timbers up 1-0. Gignac equalizes, and in the moments right after, Evander picks up his second yellow card. Keith picks up 2 yellows in the span of 5 minutes of match time, and now he's sent off, and the Timbers down a man.
Here's what I call it. I call it going from a golazo to an oh-no. What happened? Within 20 minutes of scoring one of the best goals I've ever seen in one of the bigger matches the Timbers have had, you just kind of lose your head. And, I can't make too many apologies for Evander. The first yellow card, a little bit soft, but it was a cynical moment by a man who has shown tendencies, and he is still I'm not going to say young. He's 25 years old, right? So he's prone to those moments, just, the stuff that just doesn't need to happen. And that's okay. So you've got a yellow card. You can carry that, no problem, right? When you go up in the air and you challenge for a ball and you know you're not going to win it, what you can't do is slap somebody on the top of the head. Now, Evander may make the argument, I did not mean to do it. My hands had to go out for balance, to protect myself, to challenge for the ball. That's fine. But it was definitely a little palm right to the top of the head. And, of course, the man in the moment, Nicholas Lopez, is going to go down as if he's gotten a little bit more to the head than just a little love tap, as we like to say. And in that instance, second yellow and off you go. So it totally changes the game. But what's interesting is he changed the game twice because Tigres had a lot of possession, looked like the stronger side. You could argue that point. But then Evander turns it around with an incredible goal. And now he's changed it again. His team's got to deal without him and, more importantly, down a man. And to play for 45 minutes with that numerical disadvantage is going to be difficult against a Tigres team that'll spread you, and they'll now sit on you. And for me, I hate to say this. It kills me to say this. I think the Timbers should think defense first, second, and third, hang on for as long as possible, try to maybe steal one at the end. But I think you're looking to get to a 1-1 finish in this match. That you'd be great. Be great.
Completely different shape, but still drama to unfold. Adam Sussman, Keith Blyer, bringing the second half call after the break. Timbers, Tigres, 1-1. Second half coming up.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Looking for a positive and collaborative job atmosphere? we'd like to invite you to explore opportunities with Old Trapper. For over 50 years, Old Trapper has made the world's best beef jerky in Forest Grove, Oregon. Our carne seca is tender, lean, and deliciously seasoned, making it the perfect snack. We are a growing family business and a market leader offering great work and career growth opportunities. Apply at oldtrapper.com/careers. That's oldtrapper.com/careers.
If your day sounds like,
we need the report ASAP,
you deserve Modelo. If you've persevered through, you deserve this rich golden lager with a crisp but refreshing taste. Or if you overcame,
2 more reps, 2 more.
You deserve this ice-cold reward. Modelo, the Remarkable Fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
So, how can Enterprise pick Timbers fans up today? Well, say you want to follow the team for an away game. Enterprise has you covered. Or get a truck to haul your Timbers memorabilia. They do that too. Rent an exotic for a victory parade? Check. What about buying any of the above? Yes, yes, and yes. Rent, buy, or share. Enterprise, official partner of the Portland Timbers, is the one place to go for every place life takes you.
Welcome back to Providence Park, where the Portland Timbers and Tigres are getting ready for the second 45 of action. Booze still raining in after Evander was sent off moments before full-time stoppage of the first half. Both teams gearing up for a substitution shortly. Yaroslav Niezgoda getting ready to come in for the Portland Timbers. And we have one that we'll get to you shortly, Diego Reyes, coming in for Tigres. We'll see who he takes out in this one. Portland Timbers will start with the ball. Of course, the team switch sides as a new 45 has gone. A new one is on the horizon. Portland, wearing their Rose City Heritage kits, will be attacking right to left, while now Tigres attacking left to right, and likely they will have more of the ball just simply early on by a man advantage, of course, and now the two subs getting ready to come in as well. Keith, when Robert Saboldi talked at his press conference yesterday, he talked about having to stop the speed of the Portland Timbers. Says he watched the match against San Jose and several others, identified certain players on the break. He said possession will be a big part of this match for Tigres. They will now have an easier time doing that, but the Timbers still a direct transition team. Could have some luck even with 10 men.
Yep, you did it. You just did my job for me, Adam, so I'll let you continue. I mean, no, it's true. Portland is good getting out on the break. The counterattack soccer with Dairon Esprit on one side and Marvin Laria on the other. And that is what they're going to look to do. So for me, for Tigres, you can kind of fall in a trap here. If your shape is a little too attacking, if you sit back there with just the two center backs, you might be undone at some point with the two wingers and Yarrow up top. So they've got to be really careful with how they play Angulo and Aquino for me, the outside backs. But most of this match is about to be played on the south end of Providence Park.
The game resumes here in downtown Portland as Dario Zubrich has it, gives it over to Claudio Bravo on the near side of the field. Of course, the teams have switch sides. Marvin Laria plays it, gets it played up in a dangerous area. He's on the left channel with two Tigres players near him. He earns his team a throw and about a yard up from the near side quarter flag. So Niezgoda comes in for Felipe Mora, and so it's not Tigres don't want foreshadowing what happened to Evander happened to them. They took out Samir, who was on a yellow card, and a center back. You're probably more dangerous of a spot just by the happenstance of a game to get a second yellow, so they bring in Diego Reyes. It's a two-time Gold Cup winner with Mexico. It's 85 caps for his national team in total. The Timbers practically out of nothing. A simple long throw in is going to earn them a corner kick. 55 seconds into the second half. With Evander gone, a new man takes the corner kick, Marvin Laria. He started 4 straight MLS games right before Leagues Cup. The first time he had that long of a starting stretch since 2021. Had a goal and assist in the 4-game span as well. Laria puts both hands up in the air, shoots it in with his left foot just outside the 6, and Carioca sends it high. Carioca again. Ball still has not hit the deck. A scorpion kick. Nearly finds it into the path. Niezgoda was offside. Marvin Laria isn't. He gets the ball, sends it inside. Carioca goes up again, and Pizarro is able to clear it with his boot instead of his noggin. Gignac loses out to Diego Chara, who had to beat out 2 Tigres players to get the ball. And then Claudio Bravo is fouled. Many want a yellow. Javier Anguino says, no, it's not. Anguino from Oaxaca, Mexico, has 54 caps, last coming in 2018. He's pacey. He can play left back or winger. Dyron Esprilla just reaches it inside the box. Cross right at Guzman, who chucks it like a baseball player out to the fellow fullback, Jesus Angulo. Trying to play it through the lines, but Juan David Mosquera breaks that plan. Mosquera has it in Tigres territory, shoots it back into his zone with Diego Chara and gets it right back in his initial spot. Juan David Mosquera to Niezgoda. Over to Niezgoda again on the right flank. He's going to send it across. Only 2 Timber players in the box and earns yet another corner. Positive first 3.5 minutes by the Portland Timbers.
Pretty surprising, to be honest. I just said most of the match is going to be played at the other end of the park. But what you can do from the whistle is you can go, okay, we're not going to back down. And I think this is more just sending a message. And if you think the Timbers are going to play beautiful football, they might have moments of it, but it's going to be just let's play in their half as much as we can.
Marvin Lurie has a corner kick from the opposite side now. Christian Paredes the first to get to it, sends it back inside the box, but now cleared by Tigres. Diego Chara, safety valve, gives it back to Alias Ivicic. What do you think the Niezgoda sub signifies? Of course, more maybe not 90 minutes fit quite yet, but Niezgoda quite a hold-up player. Meanwhile, the Timbers have another attack as Alias sprayed it perfectly out to Marvin Luria. Luria inches his way inside the box, has it after losing it quickly. Christian Paredes not able to control, and Tigres almost go the other way, if not for Captain Zach McGraw stepping up from his line. Not the literal captain.
Big moment for Zach there.
Not the literal captain. That, of course, being Diego Char. Claudio Bravo continues to have a great game, pokes it a pass. And Kino. Bravo to Paredes. Heavy touch by Paredes. Gignac leaving a striker spot to help link up play. Nicolas Lopez had a couple of bright moments in the first half, but kind of embodied his season in Liga MX. Not able to have a few consistent moments, just a few great moments. Fullbacks from Tigres and the Timbers capable to attack. Maybe slightly more for Portland. Angulo and Aquino way up high. Here's Aquino right now. Aquino working on Claudio Bravo. Shifts it over to his left foot. Gets Claudio Bravo on the deck. Not able to capitalize. Corian. Pizarro. It's all happening on the right side, near side of the field. Low cross inside. Dario Zubric about chest height. Gets his neck down low to get his forehead onto it. Niezgoda. He's going to be alone a lot in this half as he's the furthest upfield. Dyron Esprilla and Marvin Luria, his counterparts in attack, but still defending in this 4-4-1 in transition. There won't be as much supplement going forward.
Sloppy pass there from Pizarro. To answer your question from about a minute ago, Adam, and I don't have the specific knowledge, but I would be very surprised if Mora's withdrawal had anything else, had any other factor aside from just not being ready to go a full 90 minutes. I guarantee there was a conversation. How did it feel? And they pulled him out for cautionary reasons as he recovers.
There was some open real estate out to the right for Niezgoda. The pass was behind Paredes and too far in front of Mosquera, so there was a miscommunication. If they made it inch perfect, they could have had the break on. Instead, it's Tigres ball on the near side of the field. Felipe Mora, last game against San Jose, played 32 minutes. At that point, it was his season high. This game, of course, 45, another season high. Baby steps of progress with the start, progress with a pretty bright first half in total for him, was in the right positioning, and, of course, earned the free kick for Evander from about 25 out that made it 1-0 at the time. To reset things, if you weren't with us on 750 the game for the first 45, Evander scored a goal in the 24th minute, then had a yellow card in the 39th, a second yellow in the 44th. The Timbers are down a man. The score is currently 1-1 as Andre Pierre Gignac had a goal in the 42nd minute to even things up. Nicolas Lopez, who's a winger as well as a striker. Whatever Robert Sabaldi needs from him. And Kino shifted way out right to the opposite flank.
This is what we're going to see a lot of right here.
All 11 practically in the final third for Tigres off the shin pad of Esprilla. Tigres reset things in the 52nd minute. the reigning Liga MX champions.
I've often thought to myself, Adam, it might take me a little bit to articulate this, so I'll wait for a stoppage, but an interesting tactic you could employ here.
Quinones trying to aim in for Nicolas Lopez. Paredes picks his head up, sees pink jerseys in front of him. Give it to a safe pair of boots, and Dairon Asprilla has Juan David Mosquera running up the right. And a strong challenge away from Luis Quinones.
They're defending in a 4-4-1, right? So they've got all 11 players behind the ball now, obviously dealing with 11 v 10. But if you drop back Asprilla and Loria and you pin them in, you're gonna be sat upon, so to speak. I've often wondered what if in a 10 v 11 match state you hold one, if not two wingers at midfield, high and wide. Now I know it's a risk to take, right? But you could drop Nishgoda in and basically defend 4-3-1, and now you're going to pin those outside backs back. They can't go forward. It would be an interesting cat and mouse. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but I've often thought about it.
Considering the Timbers only need a draw to get to the next round, we could see them continue with their current circumstance. Marvin Loria careens the ball inside with a lot of velocity, doesn't go to any Timber, and now the Tigres are trying to start the break. It looked like Nicolas Lopez is offsides, but he's temporarily through, working on Diego Chara, has a low shot that spins wide of Alias Ivicic, and there is the offsides flag. Make your final summer plans for an outing at Providence Park. Group ticket plans and experiences for 15 or more are still available. Visit timbers.com for details. That offsides happening well high up the pitch. Zach McGraw says, no, it wasn't. And now 4 Portland Timber players come into the mix to say this ball should be much further up. But in actuality, Keith, is this that important right now?
I think the Timbers are frustrated. They do not like the referee. And they're letting that be known. A battle over 5-10 yards.
The referee has, we've noticed him tonight.
We have.
That's one of the kinder ways to put it. And again, I'm not opposed to the decision he made regarding Evander. But what have we had? 8 yellow cards, approaching that anyway.
The lone player with a yellow that has been subbed off is Samir. You'd call it subbed off for Evander, but nobody came in for him. He just had a trip to the locker room.
All right, it's just 4 yellow cards, but it feels like 8.
Heavy pass by Niezgoda over Marvin Loria. Thought Niezgoda had a solid 50 minutes of action before he was subbed off against San Jose. Got the assist for the Evander goal. Nearly had a goal himself. But the Polish striker in the last year of his contract under some pressure to perform, especially with Mora back to health, Frank Boley coming back from a minor injury, and many other young, promising strikers like Tega Ikoba, even Florian Manzan has had great production and was named on the League's Cup roster for the Portland Timbers. He's a T2 product. Claudio Bravo fighting with Aquino. Aquino wins this one, but Dario Zuparic says, you're not going to beat me as well. The man or the ball, he got the man. It's going to be a Tigres free kick, which is practically by the corner flag. 56th minute. Timbers 1, Tigres 1, as night sets over Providence Park. Still a warm one at that. Tigres certainly were used to it. Portland Timbers, they play on turf. They're used to some hot games as well.
There are some matches in Mexico played on turf. I know that Tijuana has an artificial service.
Reyes, who's been the lone substitute for Tigres, he's at that right center back slot. He took Samir's position. Inside to Nicolas Lopez. Lopez across, nearly inside to Garayan.
Really good diagonal ball to a straight run there. Aquino spotting Lopez.
Corner kick starting to rack up for Tigres. Robert Sabaldi having a chat with his 3 assistant coaches. A goalkeeper back in his playing days. Guzman hasn't had to do much. Alias had one decent save in the opening 45. Maybe forced into another or two if you want to keep the game at 1-1. Carioca. Thought about whipping a ball in. This time goes all the way to the back post. Gignac Looked like he was winding up for the volley. Still Gignac, top of the box with Pizarro. Volley high and well wide. Ambitious try, to say the least. Enter the 76 halftime kick sweepstakes, and you could win 4 tickets to a Portland Timbers game, the chance to score goals on the field at halftime, and $760 in fuel. Go to timbers.com/76 to enter.
Santiago Moreno will be the first man to come off the bench for the Timbers tonight.
I thought he would have been a good candidate to start this game as well. Obviously, hasn't started since July 1st, a 4-1 loss to Minnesota. Had a contract dispute, rumors that he wanted out from the Portland Timbers. But he said differently. He's a different agent now as well. And Santiago Moreno trying to get back to his best. Still looking for his first goal in 2023. Does have 6 assists to his name. The youngest Timber ever to reach 15 total assists. As Juan David Mosquera and Esprilla were fighting for it on the far side. Esprilla frustrated, the foul called on him. Tigres restart quickly. Guzman has Niezgoda running at him. Has to careen it outright. Marvin Loria picks up the loose scraps. Sends it a cross into the box. Reyes knocks it out with his left. Diego Chara, good back heel pass from Paredes. Over to Juan David Mosquera. A little bit overcooked. And off of Mosquera's body for a goal kick for Noel Guzman.
Good, though. Nifty combination play, Paredes and Chara. A little back foot flick, as I like to call it, out of Paredes. A big one, too. And Chara just missed that diagonal ball wide. But, the Timbers will fashion an attack or two, I think.
And the key is when they get forward, can they get forward with more than just Niezgoda running down dead ends?
Juan David Mosquera, even at 10 men and him being a fullback, has been very attacking still with Esprilla on that far side, probably a little bit more than Claudio Bravo. Mosquera in a hole as this season, top 10% of MLS fullbacks in progressive carries and successful take-ons. Some of that may be supplemented by the 2 games he played right winger, but in total, you get the gist. He's someone who is speedy and can attack with the best. Niezgoda, advantage played for the Timbers as Paredes was clipped from behind. Juan David Mosquera, speak of the attacking fullback, has Esprilla to his right, slows things down, gives it over to Esprilla. The Colombians link up a few times, and now it's on the far side. 18-yard box extended. It goes back to Diego Chara. Still on the right side. Marvin Loria brings it inside the middle. Chips it over the top of Nicolas Lopez to Claudio Bravo. Bravo has Paredes running through the middle. He was the one who was fouled. That advantage was played. Good to see him back onto his feet. Claudio Bravo to Marvin Loria, who stepped into midfield from his winger role. Another back heel pass by Paredes. He's fancied a few of those, and they've come off for the most part. Diego Chara has Gorian running at him, and that pass ends what was a successful passing sequence for the Timbers. Tigres' turn. Nicolas Lopez over to Gignac. Gignac, poor pass. Paredes is there. Diego Chara, another poor pass. And now Claudio Bravo is tormented by 2 Tigres players. Gignac has it, slows things down. Really thinking about a cross. This time he does send it towards the back post. Quiñones has an acrobatic touch and out for a Portland Timbers corner. Man, did Gignac slow things down there. It looked like a 3-on-2 for a moment.
Well, the break was on, but it was only up one side. And cover defending by Portland forced Gignac to stop. He then decided to go back post to Quiñones. And another yellow card coming out. This one's going to go to Bigon. And I'm not sure why. Oh, I think it goes back probably to the advantage, maybe like 2 minutes ago. Okay, yeah.
It was a pretty nasty challenge on the back of Paredes. I think a deserved yellow card. Subs preparing to come in, but play resume. 2 getting ready for Tigres, 1 for the Timbers. Back post, nearly there. Alija Zivicic, good positioning, but it was sent wide. Diego Lainez coming in for Tigres. Lainez, even if you don't know Liga MX or Mexican soccer that well, you probably know Diego Lainez. He wasn't just one of the best teenagers in Mexico, in North America. He was consistently named in lists that put him amongst the best youngsters in the world. Still just 23 years old, he has really struggled to hit the back of the net in his professional career. Just 4 professional league goals. But we'll see if the speedy 5'6" winger can create something for the reigning Mexican champs. Has 26 caps for Mexico. He's a fan favorite. Diego Lainez, on loan from Real Betis, who signed him for $14 million a few seasons ago. Infamous with his bust-up with Matt Miazga back in 2020. Miazga pointed out his 5'6" height. And also for the Portland Timbers, another talented youngster, Santiago Moreno, enters the pitch. Oziel Herrera, who they just signed 2 days ago officially from Atlas. 7 caps for Mexico, 6 goals in Liga MX last year. 89 total games with Atlas, just 22 years old. Youthful energy coming into this game.
The line is obviously the highlight of those 3 changes. Tigres debut after a European adventure that didn't exactly work out for him, as you mentioned, Adam.
Still technically a player for Real Betis. He went on loan to Braga in Portugal last year. Maybe not one of the top teams in Liga NOS, but played all right, but not a lot of games, only 6 games and 1 goal. He's hoping returning back to North American soil can spark his career again. Only 23 years old. Keith, still plenty of time. We all know some late bloomers in our life. Aquino over to Quiñones. So it'll be Lainez on the far wing. Quiñones comes to the near. Nicolas Lopez was the one taken out to make room for Lainez. And then I believe it was Vigon who exited the match for Oziel Herrera.
And they're both going to play, it looks like, wide positions here for Tigres. Lainez is lined up way out there on the left flank. Herrera inside just a little bit, but that's because the ball is on his side, and Aquino's up the field. Lainez is rapid, technical speed, as I would say, just really tidy and quick on the ball. You're not going to get a foot in on him.
Aquino, good touch, near side corner flag. Herrera, top of the box, his second touch of the game so far. What can the young Mexican international enter into this game? Could say that for Lainez or Herrera. Lainez, though, probably going against the 2 fastest players on the field going against each other, Juan Diven Mascara and Lainez. Lainez legs a little bit fresher. He's showing it right here as a touch toward the middle. Decent cross, but Zach McGraw, the Canadian center back, able to get rid.
Interesting to see Gignac, as his body language right now is a little bit out of confusion. I'm not sure if he knows exactly what the setup is here for Tigres. He knows he fits in right through the middle up top, but who's around him? Quiñones is pushed way in, so he's almost like a second central forward right now.
It's looking like a 2-2-5-3. It's almost Columbus-like.
That wouldn't be fair if they played a 2-2-5-3. But I see what you're saying.
Pizarro back inside the center circle with Reyes.
I'm surprised they've kept the 2 outside backs on the park. I don't know if that's going to continue for Tigres.
Lainez out left. Lainez gets it back towards the byline, crosses it inside. Alias sticks out a palm, and then Pierre-Andre Gignac is shouldered away. No penalty called. Portland trying to go the other way. Niasgoda not there. Gignac still down inside the 6. The 37-year-old holding his right leg.
I'm surprised Tigres is still playing. Their man is down in the 6 box.
Slowly trying to get back up. Aquino cross inside, off the woodwork!
Wouldn't have that been a way to start your career, huh? That was Herrera.
Herrera, his first game as a Tigres player.
Well, effective subs is what I would say. Lainez and Herrera. Of course, it favors them with the Timbers being down a man, but Ivicic did the job at his near post. He got a hand on that little pullback cross by Lainez.
It was clean, Keith, but Pierre-Andre Gignac did take all of Christian Paredes, who shielded off with his lower body, no high arms or anything, but it put some force into the French striker. He's got now 165 goals in 8 years with Tigres. If he played in MLS, that'd be the second most ever after Chris Wondolowski. In his last 3 seasons with Marseille before joining Tigres, 13 goals, 16 goals, 21 goals, and he's aged like a fine wine in Mexico. He said learning the language and accepting the culture in Mexico so well is a form of professionalism and dedication to Tigres, and he's become a legend not just with Tigres, but in Liga MX as a whole. Listed as the best foreigner to enter Liga MX in the last decade. Picked up a slight knock. Here's Lainez working on Juan David Mosquera, the Colombian. Does better. Probably not many fullbacks Lainez faces that he's older than, but he's 3 years the elder of Juan David Mosquera.
Doesn't look it. Lainez still looks like he's about 16 down there, but man, what feet, what feet.
Lainez, a left-footed winger with great pace. He's on loan at Tigres. Part of the Clausura win in May. Part of the Campeón de Campeones in June. And will stay on loan for the remainder of the Apertura and then head back to Real Betis. And what's after that, who knows? Darren Asprilla had a good header. Santiago Moreno, I don't think, has touched the ball since entering the match, as we're now in the 68th minute, still 1-1. Herrera shows great pace against Diego Chara, last off of the Colombian midfielder of the Timbers. And Herrera hands it off to Enquinho.
Herrera, what, an inch away from putting Tigres up 2-1. He really got up there, directed that header toward the upper 90.
And it was about Andre Pierre Gignac was, I think, still on the ground.
He
as
was.
well.
He was. I think he was still on a knee.
It would have been interesting to see how that celebration went for the French star.
And you wonder if he were in an offside position, was he affecting play?
I mean, they could have made that case. He was in an offside position.
I'm sure the Timbers would have.
Well, they would have, for sure. But he was about as passive as you can get. Prostrate, that is, on the ground.
Pizarro, who's listed as a midfielder, but has played center back in all 4 games this season, 3 in the Apertura. Of course, this one tonight in Leagues Cup. Started his career with Lanús in Argentina. That's familiar. That's Diego Valeri's boyhood club. Here's Lainez. Carioca. Pizarro. His second stint with Tigres was briefly with Sevilla over in Spain. Carioca blocked by Diego Chara, who's been active. When is he not? Diego Reyes. The man from Mexico City hands it over to the Brazilian legend, Carioca. And Quino to Herrera. This is good work by Tigres. Not flirting with the final 18 quite yet. Carioca now gives to Lainez. Lainez to Pizarro. Pizarro to Aquino. Aquino sends a cross inside. Good play by Claudio Bravo to keep his hands back, but the pressure mounting and mounting from the Mexican side from Monterrey.
Yeah, that was a long string for Tigres in deep in the Timbers defensive third. And a couple of the players for Tigres were applauding their team's effort there.
I mean, Pizarro's a center back, and he's been playing just outside the 18. Here's Carioca. It's a great touch pass, the Polish striker Niezgoda. Gorian, who's been slightly quieter in the second 45 than he was in the first. The Uruguayan number 10 was pulling the strings, but now everybody is for Tigres. Herrera and Lainez have been positive additions. Here's Lainez, left-footed cross, back post. Can Tigres reach it? No, they do not. The Timbers have shot in the arm just to breathe for a second defensively, reset their lines. So Dario Zubrich kind of thinking the same thing I was, saying, everyone calm down, take your breath. Claudio Bravo is going to take a sweet time getting to this ball as well.
You sort of start to think as a Timbers player, how many more crosses are we going to have to handle? It could be in the neighborhood of 20.
Alijas Ivicic thinking that as well. This is his first game since July 1st. Here's finally a break for the Portland Timbers. Niezgoda has it on the left, just outside the box, now inside of it. Playing over to Santiago Moreno, hits off the shin pads of Reyes. Reyes hit it off of Paredes, but then it goes right back to the Mexican international center back. And the Timbers collect. Can they string together passes?
Sorry, those are the moments of frustration at Niezgoda. Even Paredes, he couldn't hide his displeasure. He just needed a little diagonal pullback, and he would have had a shot from distance, and we know Paredes can hit him. Niezgoda's got to have a wider range of vision as he dribbles on the counterattack.
Timbers had attacking chances, I would say, within the first 3-4 minutes of the half. Since, understandably, it's been Tigres as Lainez was trying to get on the end of a 1-2, and he gets stopped in the middle of his tracks by Diego Chara. It was a foul, no yellow.
Yeah, Yamosa and Gio are all over the fourth official. Herrera kicked out at Chara long after the whistle. That should be a yellow, certainly in tonight's match.
Carioca to Aquino. Aquino has played in Europe with Villarreal and Rayo Vallecano, but is in his 9th year with Tigres, who's been key in multiple titles. They're with Cruz Azul, another grande of Mexico. Here he is again. The fullback has pretty much been playing winger, and you get why. They're up a man. Quiñones inside. Gorian cleared away by Zach McGraw. A lot of back heels being attempted by both sides. Claudio Bravo in an uncomfortable position. 2 Tigres players near him. Lets it run out of play after it was last off the boot of Herrera. Aziel Herrera subbed in about 10 minutes ago. A new signing from Atlas. 22 years old, already 89 games in Liga MX. Niesgoda was simply heading it into space, but nobody is there. Reyes is going to take it up, hand it over to Lainez. Juan David Mascara sizes him up. Zach McGraw working on Quiñones now in the same real estate on the far side of the field. Tigres have a corner.
At what point in the match, so what are we, 73rd minute now, at what point in the match do you start thinking we need a third central defensive presence in there, right?
Larry Smabiala or, dare I say, Miguel Araujo to make his Timbers debut. They're both standing there. One hands on hip, the other one leaning over the boards. I think we'll see one of those two men.
Now 74th minute, Lainez to Gorian, who sends a cross in the box. The speed of Dyron Espria trying to go chase his own header clearance. Niesgoda over to Carioca, sticking to him like Velcro. Goes back to Aquino. Espria still has that effort. He's played all 73 and a half minutes today. Gignac has it towards the end line. Tough touch to even reach. And it does go out for an Aliyaz Ivacic goal kick. The apertura for Tigres started on July 1st. They're 3 games in the season. As you mentioned, Keith, while this is the reigning Liga MX champion, dramatically beating Chivas Guadalajara 3-2 in the finals. In the second leg on the road. They've struggled to score goals this year. Only 1 in each match. A 1-1 draw in the first 2 games of the season. Beat Leon 1-0. They're struggling to get over that 1 hurdle right now in the 75th.
Stern warning for Aliyaz Ivacic, taking a little too much time on the goal kick. He'll be happy to do that again and pick up a yellow card. So that will pretty much put money down on that. Rafael was not happy with APG on that last diagonal ball. He felt like he put it in a good spot.
Claudio Bravo nearly feeds it through to Niesgoda. Pizarro heads it out right to Aquino. Aquino puts on the burners. Can he beat a tired Claudio Bravo? No, he cannot. Claudio Bravo has probably been the best Portland Timber over the last 3 games. Had an assist and a great defensive performance against Columbus. The clean sheet shutting down Christian Espinoza, a league possible MVP of San Jose in Saturday's 2-0 win. And today has done more of the same from his left back slot. Probably more defensive work than he was initially anticipating, but you see why he led Major League Soccer in tackles last season. Santiago Moreno has shifted out to the right. Dyron Espria more on the left. Espria responsible for defending Javier Aquino. That's who he's glued to right now. Aquino has it 18 yards from net. Gives it over to Herrera. Herrera listed as a forward, but playing more as a midfielder right now. He's got bags of pace to him as well. Trying to show that off. Can he get to the end line? He gets knocked. Lower body. No call of it. Tigres, some half-hearted appeals. No penalty call. It's going to be an Aliyaz Ivacic goal kick.
I agree with you. The importance and the performance of Claudio Bravo. Here's a hot take. I do think he's been the best Timber in the last 3 matches, and that includes a man by the name of Evander. If Evander didn't have that moment of silliness in this match, you'd maybe have more of a debate on your hands. But Bravo has been fantastic. Tigres is going to roll the dice again. They're going to shake it up and put 2 more men on here.
Nicolas Ibanez, one of them. The other, Sebastian Cordova, who is a big game player, known as Sebas. He has 15 caps for the Mexican national team. Last Clausura, I should say, was his best year as a pro. Had 5 goals and 5 assists in 20 starts. Get this, in the final, he had a goal, earned a PK, and a late red card in the Clausura finals win versus Guadalajara. Also scored both goals in the semifinal versus Monterrey to reach the finals. He's a fan favorite, obviously so, for his big game acumen.
And they bring him off the bench. That's the power of a team like Tigres. It's kind of like the whole Man City thing in England. You're like, that guy doesn't start? Are you kidding me?
He's throwing for the Timbers.
Gignac is done.
Has 2 subs gearing up to come in. Andre Gignac, who got his goal in the 42nd, makes way for Nicolas Ibanez.
Adam, he did that classic big number 9 strut where you kind of do that little stagger. You turn, you look at your coach in a funny way. Yep, and then you eventually walk off.
Ooh, me? I'm coming off? So Sebastian Cordova will replace the Uruguayan Fernando Gorian. Cordova, just 26 years old. Ibanez, 28. From the 2019 through 2023 season, Ibanez scored double-digit goals every season with Atlético San Luis, then Pachuca. After his performances with Atlético San Luis, he got to move to Atlético Madrid, but never actually played a game there. Came back to the Mexican League with Tigres. Won Apertura 2022 as the top goal scorer in the league. Transfer market values him at $7 million. He's a player with tons of ability. Speaking of ability, Juan David Mascara skips past one, nearly jumped over Reyes to get through again. Would have been a 2-on-1, but Reyes slides strong. 79th minute, 1-1. This game is tied, Keith. It does go to PKs.
That's right. I forgot about that. I literally forgot about that. Wouldn't that be a spectacle? And that's the Timbers would be thrilled, absolutely thrilled at him to get to a penalty kick shootout, having been a man down for this entire half and the better part of 55 minutes. And you start to wonder, can they do this? Can they hold off Tigres? And again, what amazing saves has Jazzy had to make in this second half? I'll give you the answer. None. 0. He's made a good first post dive on the Lainez cross.
Paredes fouled Cordova. Cordova replays quickly, gives it to Lainez. Lainez defended by Juan David Mascara, who was down for a moment. Claudio Bravo just has to lash at it and goes behind his own net for a corner kick. It'll be another shaky moment for the Timbers. 80th minute. Tigres, an awfully short off-season. You could say they have tired legs. You could also say they're in championship form. They're 2 games before the first 3 in Apertura, 2 finals. Beat Chivas in the Clausura final. Beat Pachuca and Campeón de Campeones. Can they beat the Portland Timbers? And there's the second to help it out. A roar at Providence Park for the roadside as Tigres go up 2-1 on the Portland Timbers off a corner. Jesus Anjolo. He's been active all game long, Keith. He's been playing like a winger as a fullback. That might be the shortest player, but he gets it done at the back post.
It's clinical corner kick. That's a front post flick-on header. Really well done by Tigres. Timbers were living a charmed existence there for a while, really defending their butts off, quite frankly, and undone on the corner kick.
Ball was whipped in. It was near post flick on, and then Angulo just beats Mascara to that back post. The flick on header, Pizarro. Yep. And Angulo gets right in between Paredes and Mascara. Paredes goes centrally. Angulo gets in there, and it's a bullet header. Nothing Aljaž Ivičić could do. Good corner kick. That's on corner kicks. That's one clear instance where you got one fewer player than they do, and somebody's going to ghost in there. And of all people, it's your left back, Jesus Angulo.
Unlucky for Claudio Bravo that his mishit did earn Tigres the corner. We've jinxed it a couple of times here, Keith. We talked about the Gignac lack of scoring, and then he did score. Talked about the Timbers loving the result if it can go 1-1 to PKs. Tigres score. Claudio Bravo trying to man his team upfield. Santiago Moreno's been quiet. His team mostly on the defense. Here's the goal scorer. That was Aquino. Pereira. Over to Cordova, who's been on the pitch for 30 seconds and saw his team score. Cordova, great ball through, but a heavy touch by Ibanez. And that was perfect location.
What a pass by Cordova. And you wonder if Gignac were still on the pitch and he made that run, I think you've got a 3-1 game. Not to be too hard on Ibanez, but man, that was a laser diagonal penetrating ball right to the center seam. Just couldn't put that pillow of a left foot on it.
Cordova sharing a pitch with Christian Paredes again. The two briefly overlapped at Club America. Paredes wasn't there long, but Cordova had 81 games for the club from 2016 to 2021 before joining Tigres. And at 26 years old, he's almost becoming cult hero status. Had a minor injury coming into this one. I think that's why he didn't start, Keith, but fit enough to play the final 10 of regulation. Guzman over to Reyes. You have to give a round of applause for Guido Pizarro, the captain of Tigres. Had the knock-on header that was able to make Angulo so open at the back post. Cordova, another great play. Gives Lainez a heck of a lot of space. Zach McGraw has to get awkward to try to clear it away. Doesn't, but another Timber does. Dairon Asprilla has his back towards Angulo. Cordova sweeps it out of the sky, sends it across towards the back post. Alias Ivicic and company let it run through. Claudio Bravo has Quiñones on him. Santiago Moreno gets shoved once from behind a couple of times. The Colombian still has it. Claudio Bravo to his left. Instead goes to Niezgoda up front. Niezgoda, left-footed shot, is blocked immediately by Reyes. Herrera working on Diego Chara and Santiago Moreno. Moreno keeps it in play perfectly with the sliding challenge. Bravo is chopped from behind, and that's going to be a set piece for the Portland Timbers. The man who knows a thing or two about scoring goals getting ready to come in. Frank Bolli anxiously putting on his jersey. The Timbers go quickly, unwise from the set piece, and now Tigres can rush the other way. Quiñones has it outright, working on Dario Zubaric on the near side of the field. Steps over into the box, and Dario Zubaric sends out a strong left foot. And it's going to be a goal kick as well. Perfect play by the Croatian center back. Quiñones knows he's all right. He's kind of unhappy with the results.
And had to make big blocks. Exhibit A, Diego Reyes, one end of the park to deny Niezgoda, and then Dario Zubaric matches him.
We got a debut coming for the Portland Timbers, Keith. Miguel Araujo.
Yeah, I think they were thinking about, making this move at 1-1. It's a little less obvious now that you're down 2-1, but I think they want to just blood Araujo. They want to give him a chance to play for the Portland Timbers. My guess is he'll come off for one of those two center backs, just kind of a like-for-like switch.
Dairon Asprilla thought he was dragged down, so did Timbers Army. They're usually on the sides of the guys at home. 85th minute, Timbers are running out of time. They're down a man, down a goal. Approach the 86th. Evander was sent off just before half, but had a parting gift as he left. He had a goal in the 24th minute. Gignac changed that to make it 1-1 in the 42nd. And Angulo made it 2-1 moments ago.
A lot of gesticulating down there. Giovanni Savarese with Araujo trying to tell him exactly where he wants him to fit into their structure.
This is a chance for Portland here. Out of nothing, Herrera says it hit his side. Everyone knows it kind of hit him on the forearm there. A set piece for the Timbers. Gently on the far side, but pretty central, about 30 to 35 yards away. Maybe too far for a shot, but the big body's, of course, coming inside.
Why not? Go for it. Getting done on the counter right now. Obviously you don't want it to happen, but you're going to risk that down a goal in the 86th minute. I got to tell you, Tigres has changed the game, not just with Evander being sent off, but the substitutions that they made in the second half have paid off big time.
The beauty of depth. A great chance for Portland from a set piece. Santiago Moreno sends it in, beats a couple of Tigres players, and no one able to send it net bound. Diego Chara back out to Santiago Moreno, the same place he took the set piece, has Lainez to beat. Lainez sends in his left boot, and can Tigres make something of this? They chip it forward to the midfield with Lainez, who was taken down strongly. Advantage played. Inside the box now, a Tigres cross inside. Dario Zubaric diving header away. Van Persie style on that one. Paredes He's played every second of this game. Bumped off the ball. Kirioka over to Quiñones. Try to curl it with the left boot. And it goes wide of Aljaž Ivačić.
Did I mention that Lainez has quick feet and you're not going to get the ball off him? Even when you do, he's going to go to ground and pop up so fast that you can't even track where he is. I mentioned the subs. So Lainez out left, incredibly effective. Herrera, the new Tigres man as well. A little more inside, but he hit the post on a really strong header. And then this Sebastian Cordova kid, my goodness, he has not done anything but the spectacular since he's come on. Here he is again, chests the ball down, splits two Timbers defenders, and he's off.
He has been impressive, to say the least. His cross, though, does hit Zach McGraw first. I was watching the finals yesterday against Pachuca, against Chivas. He was the best player on the pitch. He's noticeable as well. He's got flowy hair, likes to wear the headbands. He's an aggressor. Got a red card in the final few minutes of the Clausura final in Chivas. But he's a man to keep an eye on for. 3 substitutions coming in for the Portland Timbers. Sebastian Blanco coming on. Frank Boli coming on. And Miguel Orujo making his Portland Timbers debut.
So 3 in the back is what they're going to do here. They're going to flop Zach McGraw. Zupric is going to stay in the middle. Arujo is going to play on the right. And you got Blanco coming on. He'll be a wide left attacker.
So it's Claudio Bravo. It's both fullbacks coming off. Claudio Bravo, Juan David Mascara, and Dairon Esprilla exits for Sebastian Blanco.
So it's a 3-3-3 in many ways. Maybe even a 3-2-4. Go for it. Yeah, 3-2-4 is what it looks like to me. Chara's kind of screening Zupric.
90 seconds left before stoppage time. Blanco was a hero 2 weeks ago against Columbus, scoring late to give his team the 3-2 win on Diego Valeri, Ring of Honor night. Can he be a hero in League's Cup against Tigres?
I think you want one more dangerous free kick if you're the Portland Timbers.
They don't have their free kick taker as well. Evander, of course, in the locker room. Sebastian Blanco nearly earns a corner, hits off the chest. The Pizarro back to Seba. Seba almost in the Esgora. Santiago Moreno, the Timbers fighting hard. Lainez and Moreno jockeying back and forth. Who's going to win this one out? Lainez is for now, and it's going to be a foul on Moreno.
It is. I know the fans don't like it at all.
But again, that's the Lainez quality. You cannot take the ball off of him. And he shields so well. He just uses that front foot
and keeps it away from the defender. And Moreno just a little too handsy. That is a foul, and unfortunately it's going to kill the better part of 30 seconds.
Surprised Guzman went so quickly there.
Up the line to Lainez.
But he's crazy.
Lainez shut down by Moreno again. This time, not a foul. It's going to be Portland Timbers' ball. Lainez holding on to it for an extra second for sure. 10 seconds left before stoppage time. The Angulo goal making the difference. Gignac even it up after Evander put the Timbers up 1-0. Ball goes all the way through to Dario Zupric. Tigres fans thought there was a foul. Seba comes short for Aljaž Ivačić as a passing option. Still a Tigres player down. Timbers probably aren't going to be so nice about it right now. Diego Chara closed down by a few. Zach McGraw playing left wing, and he has to. Paredes over to Frank Boli. What can the Timbers create? One of their final chances. Boli inside Niezgoda. Paredes inside the box still. Falls to Frank Boli, fighting for it and out for a corner kick.
I thought Moreno should have stayed wide. He made an outside-in run when if you just play the ball into space there, Santi with his pace is around that man. He's dribbling toward the byline. But Tigres is rattled. They're rattled at him.
The 8-time Liga MX champions trying to keep their 2-1 lead in stoppage time. Chainsaw revving. Everyone in the box bar. Diego Chara. Santiago Moreno sends in the ball. Headed away. Diego Chara just pops it up with his right foot. Otherwise, it would have been a clear break for Tigres. That break could still be a possibility. Lainez wanted it out left. He has to slow down, but he does get it. Advantage played after Sebastian Blanco put in a hard challenge on Luis Quiñones. Here's Cordova, who's been impressive since entering. Slows things down. Realizes his team has the 1-0 lead. 2-1 lead. Lainez and Cordova have been tricky since coming on. Timbers Army not giving up yet. As Tigres, one of the strongest chances of winning League's Cup, considering what they've done recently. Won the Clausura, undefeated in 3 games in the Apertura so far. Were able to get over that 1-goal hurdle that they hadn't so far in this brief season. Still in play. Lainez tries to play over Cordova, but it is going to be a throw-in. It did go over the chalk, and it's going to be a Timbers throw-in on the far side of the field, about 30 yards up. Make it 25 as the referee is setting him even further back.
Get McGraw deeper here.
Quite the situation for Miguel Urujo to make his Timbers debut.
It is. But almost nothing to lose, you know.
Timbers, for their sake, thankfully, were able to collect all 3 points against San Jose. But they'll be watching that game on Saturday between Tigres and San Jose, because if the Quakes are able to win and put that superior goal differential over the Timbers, it could be trouble.
Well, that's right. So San Jose has to beat Tigres. So the Timbers,
by 2 goals or more.
Yeah, or the Timbers are through.
Timbers passing around the back. Anxious seconds, clicking away. Giovanni Savarese has a shoulder workout saying to get forward for his guys. Frank Bolli goes up with Pizarro. It's going to be a throw-in for Portland. Sebastian Blanco has nobody to aid on the throw-in. He can only throw it so far. The final whistle will be coming shortly. Quiñones not even letting him throw it in. Now Miguel Araujo has a touch of the ball, gives it over to Santiago Moreno. Moreno tries to chip it over the top. He can't. Carioca able to work well in a tight space. Santiago Moreno as they club down Cordova. And Dario Zubaric is not going to be whistled as the ball stays in play. There's advantage going on. It is indeed. Although both teams stopped momentarily. Guzman, the Timbers are going to have to press. Paredes goes all the way to the Argentine keeper, who shoots it out way right. Quiñones, good touchdown, working on his fellow Colombian Diego Char, both from the same city of Cali. Herrera, up to Aquino. The 54-capped Mexican has made a great difference on the right flank. Herrera sends it inside, nearly falls to the Lions. Cordova, great block by Zach McGraw. Cordova still fighting for it. Now Miguel Araujo trying to shoot it up to Niasgota. All of the Tigres bench up on their feet, frustrated with the player down. Looks like that's Luis Quiñones. And that's going to be the final whistle. Nonetheless, the 8-time champions win at Providence Park. Giovanni Savarese bolted onto the pitch there. Not sure who he was going to talk to, and now he does calm down. Sebastian Blanco has a word with the ref. Final score, nonetheless, 2-1 at Providence Park. Tigres, the reigning Liga MX Clausura champions, come into Portland and able to grab the win, Keith.
Well, 3 things happened in this match. 3 things that changed the match, and 2 of those went against the Portland Timbers. The first one, pro-Portland, right? Evander's banger of a goal kick. I mean, that was world-class, top shelf. And you think, you're starting to dream, can the Timbers actually pull off a victory against one of the Grandes from Mexico? But the next 2 things that changed this match, Evander again with 2 silly moments. 2 yellow cards, off he goes, and now the Timbers have to play down a man. The third thing that changed the match were the changes that Siboldi made. I think that Herrera, Lainez, and Cordova, yes, they had the man advantage, but they also did some things that the players on the team to start the match for Tigres did not. And I think it's a just result. Now you just, as the Timbers will sit and watch, you cross your fingers as a Portland fan and hope Tigres does this against San Jose, and you're through to the round of 32 in the League's Cup.
The Timbers do get to the round of 32, which hinges heavily on a match Saturday between Tigres and San Jose, the other 2 in West Group 1. If they get through, we'll have that game here on 750 The Game. But meanwhile, in the present, Judanubi will be back here with the post-game show on 750 The Game. The Timbers fall. Final score, 2-1 to Tigres, and move to 7 wins, 3 draws, and 5 losses at home in all competitions. That includes 2 games in League's Cup, 2 games in Open Cup, and a heck of a lot of MLS clashes as well. I'm Adam Sustin. Big thanks to Keith Blyer as well. Stay tuned on 750 The Game. A lot left to go. We'll hear from Giovanni Savarese, a Timbers player, And we'll break down the match in its entirety. 2-1 from Providence Park.
Portland Timbers Major League Soccer has been presented by Providence Sports Medicine. We make you better by any measure. This copyrighted audiocast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of Major League Soccer.
How is your business navigating through the challenges that this global pandemic has produced? Are you looking forward to reconnecting? Gianna King Commercial Cleaning Services wants to partner with our community to help provide safe facilities for the return of your employees, customers, and students. Gianna King is your local solution to all of your cleaning and disinfecting needs. Trust the King of Clean like so many of your neighbors. Find us at giannaking.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
As of March 2022, Hyundai has won more total IIHS top safety awards than any other brand over the past 8 years, with optional front crash prevention and specific headlights. And here's another reason to feel safe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty. It's your journey. Own every mile with Hyundai. Get 0% APR for up to 36 months on the 2023 Hyundai Tucson. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer. Offer ends 7/31/23. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Listen up, Timbers fans. Head into Safeway to save and score on great deals all season long. Safeway has everyone's home gating favorites, from fried chicken and party subs to fresh cut fruit and veggie trays, and tons of easy meal options. Satisfy your whole army for the ultimate match day experience. And you can save a cartload of time with Safeway Drive Up and Go. Just shop online at Safeway.com. Head to the store and we'll bring your groceries right to your car. Safeway, exclusive grocery partner of the Portland Timbers.
Calling all Portland soccer fans. TikTok is bringing you closer to the game than ever before with unmatched access to the Timbers and Thorns. Join Portland's premier soccer clubs as they share content exclusive to TikTok. From the sidelines, in the locker room, and at home, there's no better place for PTFC fans to connect with their favorite clubs and players.
Spectacular goal! They're up 2-1!
Because after the game ends, the real fun starts on TikTok, the official sponsor of the Portland Timbers and Portland Thorns.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people, for charting your own path, for choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else, because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
Final from Providence Park. Tigres 2, Portland Timbers 1. Timbers had to play the entire second half down a man after Evander was sent off late in the first half with a second yellow. 2 yellows picked up in the span of 5 minutes for the Magic Man, Evander, who was the hero early. The 24th minute set piece, banger of a goal from Evander had Timbers up 1-0 early. Tigres equalized in the 42nd minute with their prolific goal scorer, Gignac, making it 1-1. But the winner eventually coming in the 80th minute. Jesus Angelo off a corner kick that was headed from the near post, flipped on by Pizarro, and Angelo gets in front of Juan David Mascara, heads it past Alija Zivicic for the second of the night for Tigres, and it stands as the winner. Timbers showed valiant fight throughout the second half, especially defending down a man. Nearly had a couple of chances at net, but nothing that was too serious for Tigres in the end to handle. And ultimately, the second goal in the 80th minute proves to be the full 3-point winner for Tigres. So Tigres now goes to the top of the group of West Region Group 1 with 3 points. And, of course, the head-to-head against the Portland Timbers. Timbers on 3 points themselves thanks to the victory over San Jose in their group stage opener. And that sets the stage for Sunday night at PayPal Park. San Jose Earthquakes taking on this Tigres side. Tigres will be on short rest. San Jose will be on 8 days rest. And that one going down in the Bay Area on Sunday night will ultimately to show who advances out of West Region Group 1. Of course, if Tigres at least ties in that match and gets at least a point, then they are going to win the group and go through as the winner of West Region 1. If San Jose is able to be victorious against Tigres, and they would have to win by at least a 2-goal margin, then it would put further tie breaks into play. Regardless, the Timbers still look optimistic to advance, but most likely as the squad that goes as the second-place team out of the group, depending on how that Sunday night result goes between San Jose and Tigres. The second-place team in the West region would play the winner of the second West region. That's Monterey, Real Salt Lake, and Seattle Sounders. Right now, Monterey at the top of that group, but they have 3 points. Salt Lake has 3 points, but Monterey just defeated Salt Lake tonight. And then Seattle is rounding that one out. So Monterey-Seattle is the last match to come July 30th out of West Group 2. And the winner of West Group 2 takes on the runner-up of this Timbers group and Portland. If they get a positive word on Sunday night with San Jose facing Tigres, and Portland could be the runner-up out of West Group 1 as well. Giovanni Severese, we'll hear from him later on. Post-game show just underway from Providence Park. Tigres 2, Timbers 1 on 750 The Game.
Walter E. Nelson Company is the largest family-owned janitorial supply distributor in the Pacific Northwest, with 13 locations to serve you in Oregon and Washington. We offer the finest national brand products, like cleaners safe for people and the environment, commercial vacuums and auto scrubbers, and above all, the most knowledgeable people to help you solve your toughest cleaning problems. Walter E. Nelson Company is ready to partner with you, so look to us for all your workplace maintenance, janitorial, and packaging needs. Since 1945, Walter E. Nelson Company is your solution for cleaner, healthier facilities in the Pacific Northwest. It's game day at Providence Park. Fuel up with a gourmet sausage or classic frank from Zenner's Sausage Company. Found at concession stands throughout Providence Park, Zenner's has been producing gourmet sausages in Portland since 1927, and they've always been naturally smoked, small batch, and handcrafted with quality ingredients. You can find Zenner's craft sausages at local retailers such as Market of Choice, Safeway Albertsons, Stadium Fred Meyer's, QFC, and many restaurants around town. Find out more at Zenners.com.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a gas station. You can't bring a chainsaw in here.
I thought 76 was sponsoring the Portland Timbers.
We are.
But I'm the chainsaw guy.
Sir, again, I'm sorry, but...
I cut a log every time we score a goal. You know, Timber Joey?
Sir, please.
But my chainsaw is running out of gas.
Sir.
Can I at least have a soda?
Sir.
76 has been a proud sponsor of the Portland Timbers since 2013, but please, no chainsaws in our convenience stores. 76, we're on the driver's side.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
For nearly 100 years, folks have trusted Blue Star medicated ointment to relieve the pain and itching of almost any skin irritation.
It works on my son's dry itching feet and their jock itch.
I had this rash on my neck. Nothing worked until Blue Star.
Blue Star worked great on my ringworm without steroids.
My wife and I have been using Blue Star for years. It's never let us down.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
Sponsored by Focus Consumer Healthcare.
Are you looking for ways to make your money work for you? How about a checking account that pays you 3% APY on up to $20,000 with no debit transactions required? This could mean hundreds of dollars saved in a year. It's that simple with CCCU's Peak Checking account. For more info, visit peakchecking.com. That's peakchecking.com. Consolidated Community Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. See credit union for eligibility and account requirements.
tonight at Providence Park, but T-Grace comes out the victor 2-1 over Portland Timbers. Some final stats on this possession firmly for T-Grace, understandably so, with Portland down a man the entire second half. T-Grace 66 to 34% in the possession advantage. Shots fairly even, but 9-8 T-Grace the overall advantage, and 3-2 T-Grace in shots on goal. Corners come out even, 5-5 apiece, but it was the fifth corner of the night that resulted in the second goal of the night for T-Grace and ultimately the game winner in the 80th minute. Each keeper was forced into one save. The cautions were a story as well. 5 total cautions were awarded, 4 for the visiting T-Grace side, and 1 caution technically for the home Timber side, even though there were a total of 3 yellows that, of course, 2 went to Evander, and that, of course, results in the red card of the match, the soft red for the Brazilian. That took him off the pitch late in the first half, and the goal scorer and the man who was the man of the match Saturday against San Jose was not to be heard from on the pitch in the entirety of the second half. Timbers defended valiantly to try to keep this one on level ground, but the 80th minute winner ended up manifesting for T-Grace, and they win 2-1 the final. Giovanni Savarese will be on the post-game podium in any moment now. Adam Sussman, Keith Blyer rejoined me. Judah Newby from Providence Park as well, gentlemen. Tough way to go out for the Timbers here at home with a match that featured plenty of pomp and circumstance. The magical moment from Evander in the 24th minute will be something we won't forget too long, but credit to T-Grace for coming in and finishing the job and being up a man to do it.
Credit indeed. And Portland Timber fans will now be T-Grace fans on Saturday when they go down to face San Jose. Keith, I think we said it wrong on the broadcast. We said San Jose had to win by 2 goals or more. I think it's 3 goals or more because the first tiebreaker is the head-to-head matchup. So San Jose has to win by a lot of goals. And I think the Timbers
no, wait. Isn't it just head-to-head, whichever team won that match? If it's just whatever team won that match, then the Timbers would have to.
Here's what it says on Leagues Cup. If 2 teams are tied on the same number of points at the end of the group stage, which if San Jose won, it would be 3-3.
Right.
The result between the clubs in question will be the first tiebreaker.
And the first tiebreaker is head-to-head?
Yeah, I believe so.
Right, so the Timbers have won, right?
They don't know if they're going to be, I think they're going through as a second team, so they're probably going to be on the road next round.
Yeah.
Without Evander. I guess let's stick with this game. There was
the head-to-head between San Jose and Tigres then would favor San Jose. So now we're talking 3-way tiebreaker.
That's a great point. Yeah. And then it goes to goal differential.
Okay.
So we got there in the end. That was a worthy including.
Well, listen, we are living in the first iteration of this event, and there are a lot of questions.
There's going to be a lot of tiebreakers amongst these teams as well.
Well, that's why they added that penalty kick shootout so that some of this would be avoided. And in this group, we haven't had one of those yet. We've had a 2-0 and then a 2-1.
And Judah, you talked about the red card for Evander. I got it sourced from someone down in the field. His name Eric Riley. He does social for the Timbers. David Bingham got a red card after the game as well. He went straight up to the ref and was letting him have it. So David Bingham, not sure if he was in line to start next game or not. That's obviously a decision Giovanni Savarese hasn't made yet, but the decision's kind of made for him as David Bingham will now miss the next game in Leagues Cup along with Evander.
Oh, boy. All right, so things were cooking tonight, gentlemen, and there was some conversation about the lead referee throughout as well, but let's talk about the Evander soft red. I know we talked about it at halftime as well, Keith, but now that we've had some time for it to settle a little bit, obviously it changes the match shape drastically in that second 45. Can you break it down for me? Because as well, if you factor in fans trying to come and attend this match, they want to see the star power, they want to see teams at full strength, and maybe that's the American sports fan in me as well. There's not a whole lot in that moment. I know that those of you that have been around the match, around the game for much longer than I have, can provide adequate context to exactly the moment from Evander and whether or not the discipline was just.
It was silly. It wasn't violent. It wasn't reckless. It was, having played to a certain level, nothing beyond college, and having coached and watched all of these matches over the last 10 years, players know when they leave in a little bit something. You leave in something, whether it's just that you dangle the foot out there and you get a little bit of the ankle on purpose, or you hold an elbow up high a little bit too long, or as you're coming down after you've jumped, you just kind of slap the player. And this match, as you heard me say about 15, 20 minutes in, there was some physicality to it.
Giovanni Savarese at the postgame podium. Looks like Gio is going to be taking some questions here momentarily. Just had a chance to sit down.
And he's one that will speak his mind.
Yeah,
so it will be interesting. We're obviously hooking up with the feed from downstairs.
Things change, obviously, with the red card. Just your overall thoughts.
I think everyone expected a very good game. I think both teams knew that it was going to be challenging. We know about Tigres and their roster and how good they are. And we knew it was going to be a good battle today. I just think the referee ruined the game. The referee ruined the game on a red card that was not provided with a conscientious of what was happening on the game. So for me, there was no need because we know that we have already we were facing a very good team that didn't need any extra help. And I think from that moment, it became just more difficult for us. Nevertheless, I thought that we stay in the game. I thought we battled through it. And I think at the end of the day, the game was a game that was fought all the way through it. So we never gave up and kept on fighting. And I thought we played well. And to the end, we almost come back into it. So very disappointed because my expectation of the type of referees is very high. I have a high expectation because they're very good usually. But this type of calls, for me, ruined the game because it was a great game at the beginning. And respect to Tigres because we know that they're a good team and they came here to play like we came today to put a good match for everyone that came into the stands to watch this game.
And Gio, you guys advance regardless of tonight's result into the knockout stage. What can you take from those first 44 minutes before that card into the knockout stage? It seemed like it was one of the stronger performances this team has had all season.
We prepare very well. I thought that the players were excited to play this game. I thought that we rested from last game to this game, and we came in with the desire to be able to put a good performance against a good environment, a good group of fans that came to watch Tigres, and they found also, that it became a very competitive match. To our fans that came today to support us and gave us so much energy for us to start the way we did. And then I think those minutes were very good. There was a good match. We know that Tigres is a team that when they're on the field with the quality of players that they have, they're going to put a good performance, a good game. They're going to make it a difficult game. And I thought that we gave it to them right away, and we play very well.